Hi, this is Richard Barrett for Guitarist Magazine, and I'm here to show you two of the new Epiphone Inspired by Gibson guitars. I have the 355, which I'm holding, and in a short while I'll be showing you the SG Les Paul Custom. So the idea behind the 335 as it first came out, then there was the 345 and the 355, is that you retain a lot of the tonal complexity of a hollow body guitar, but reject feedback with it due to the thinner body size and the centre block, which in this case is solid spruce. So this guitar is based on the 355 variant, though there are a couple of other features which I'll talk you through. Most importantly is you have the Gibson style open book headstock, which is for many, the correct look for these guitars. And we have the Les Paul Custom type inlays that carries over to the fretboard, which has the mother of pearl, and that's real mother of pearl block inlays in a bound ebony fretboard. The finishing is absolutely top notch. There are 22 medium jumbo frets, Grover Rotomatic tuners, and these are the 18:1 version, so that allows for a very fine adjustment and it makes the guitar very easy to get in tune and keep in tune. Epiphone talk about this neck as being a slim taper, but it's a single piece of mahogany. I would argue that it's not completely slim taper in the way that you might expect from, say, a Les Paul Classic. It's fairly narrow at the nut, but it's quite deep. It's quite chunky. Lovers of a 59 style profile will also like this neck. So it's not a massive, great chunky thing, but it is substantial. As you would expect with a Gibson guitar, we have a 12-inch radius, 22 medium jumbo frets. Joins the body here at the 19th fret. Now, as I've already mentioned, the body has the solid spruce centre block and everything is mounted on that, and that helps the guitar reject feedback at high volumes. The top, back and sides are a laminate of maple and poplar. And as you can see, the finish is a satin rather than being a poly or a nitro. Moving on to the electrics, we have the 2-volume, 2-tone, 3-way toggle selector that you would expect from a Gibson 335, 45 or 55, and that functions in the usual way, though it is worth mentioning that the input jack socket and the 3-way switch are Switchcraft. They're the top quality. They're the same as you'll find fitted on a USA-made guitar. And the same with the pots. Those are CTS and they're using Mallory capacitors. So everything is absolutely top of the line in that sense. It's worth, I noticed that this pick guard is actually the longer pick guard that comes all the way down to the Tune-o-matic, which is the one they fitted on the earliest 335s. Actually, the later ones, it went down just to the bridge pickup. So that's a little touch. Also, 355, you would normally expect to find a 6-way varitone. We don't have that here. We just have the standard 335 type control lineup. Elsewhere on the hardware, well, we have the Gibson custom buckers. Now, these are worth mentioning particularly because if you look up the price on a set of Gibson custom humbuckers, you're looking at almost half the price of the guitar. So that's very much worth pointing out. They're Alnico 3 magnets. They average about 8K, so not hot vintage, but they're certainly not low winds. We get a pair of those. We have the Epiphone ABR1 style, so that's a slightly narrower Tune-o-matic, not the bigger Nashville bridge, though I do notice that the posts on this are narrower like a US bridge, so you may find that if you decide to upgrade later on, then a US bridge may drop on here. So let's have a listen to some sounds, starting with the neck pickup. I've got a clean-ish sound set up with our Marshall JTM 45. Let's hear them both together. And as we come down to the bridge pickup, which I've got them set balanced, there's a bit more bite. It's worth saying about any new guitar out of the box, there are little adjustments you can make yourself, and I think these Epiphones are a candidate for that. I did do a little bit of work on them, pickup heights, bridge height, things like that. So that's worth pointing out. So that's the 355. Let's take a look at the SG Les Paul Custom. This SG Les Paul Custom shares a few features with the 355. We have the same Les Paul Custom neck with the split diamond inlay, ebony board with the mother of pearl inlays, Grover tuners. Something that I didn't mention that I should mention is that these both have Graphtec nuts, so they are self-lubricating, so that's a nice feature to have. You're not crawling around with a pencil trying to kind of lubricate the nut slots or anything like that. The neck on this guitar feels like it might be just a tad slimmer up at the towards the first fret. Not much in it, but it's still overall very rounded and quite chunky. It doesn't feel delicate. It doesn't feel like one of those shaved necks that you get on some of the Les Paul classic type guitars. So it doesn't feel like it will flex too much either, which has been a common complaint about this make and model. We have 3 of the Gibson custom buckers, which I should also add are not potted. These are made to the same spec as the original PAFs. We have a 3-way selector. We have 2 volume and 2 tone, though the question most people will be asking at this point is which setting has the middle pickup on? Well, we have the bridge only, middle position is the bridge and middle. So that's a slightly thinner sound, not out of phase, but it has that kind of sound that you get on the rear 2 pickups of a Strat. And then of course we have the neck pickup. So the tone control for the bridge pickup also operates on the middle, and the neck pickup has its own tone control as you would normally find. Now, I haven't mentioned the Maestro vibrola here. I didn't use it in the demo track. I find that these are best for a wobble like that. I certainly wouldn't be trying to play any Jeff Beck stuff or anything, but it does work very well for what it is. Like the 355, we have the ABR1 style Tune-o-matic. One thing that I will say about this is that the slotted saddles could probably do with the heights being slightly equalised with a needle file. If this were my guitar, that would be the first job. They're not way off, but I'm fussy. What can I say? So, time for some sounds. Let's hear the neck pickup on its own. Okay, then in the middle position we're looking at the bridge and middle pickup. So as I say, something of the kind of quack, that frequency response you get from a Strat in position 2. And then bridge. It's interesting because we basically have the same pickups and pots, but they're mounted to a different body, and you can hear that. I feel like the different voice of this guitar may be attributed to the solid body, which I should mention is 2-piece mahogany. Apparently the original Gibsons were 1-piece. I don't personally feel that that makes much difference. So that's a 2-piece mahogany body, 1-piece mahogany neck, and as I say, a slightly tougher sound to it. Finally, let's talk about pricing. The SG Les Paul Custom in a hard case is 1379. The 355 in a hard case is 1199. I've made a track to demonstrate a couple of clean tones and dirty tones with each guitar. I hope you enjoy it. See you another time.